what I was thinking was this, is that sometimes I feel confused because there are times when I feel that like that day after
Feel
the Zen stick, I was very upset with myself. I was upset with myself, and then at that point I just felt that, like, I don't know, I felt life is meaningless. But at the same time, I am not the kind
life
of,
was meaningless means what?
like, why am I living? Why am I living? Why am I alive? For what
To
am
eat
I
and
alive?
fart. You're living to eat and fart.
Yeah, I was like, why am I alive? What is the point of living? But I'm not exactly desireless. I'm not exactly desireless, huh?
Don't have this illusion that you are desireless. If what do you mean by desireless?
Desireless means like you don't expect
Like what?
anything in life.
What do you mean by you don't expect anything in life?
Like there is nothing that you want, you see, Swami, like you don't want fame, you don't have ambition, you don't want anything, and you also don't expect people to like you, you don't expect them to love you, accept you, all that.
Don't want anything means what?
Means that there is nothing you want, Swami, like you're not looking for position, you're not looking for fame, you're not wanting things, you don't even desire that people should like you, people should accept you, you don't have like anything that.
These are you are repeating like a parrot. Whatever you have heard, whatever you have read. When Buddha left his home, he had any desire or not?
I felt he already lost all the desires for the comfort and worldly things, but he has a desire to search for the truth. He had the desire to find out truth, to figure out something that he didn't understand.
Something it isn't.
Yeah, like he didn't I mean, he saw old age, sickness, death and birth, and then he was like, why human beings need to go through this, and then is there a way out of this? That is his quest.
What do you mean by worldly desire?
Physical pleasure, mental pleasure, pleasure of food, of having good food, having beautiful women, having luxury, having comfort, all this. The more superficial thing, he is no longer gives him satisfaction, or makes him happy.
Whom happy?
His senses.
Whom?
Buddha.
This is all being a parrot. He had lived all those things. You have not lived any of those things. He had indulged with everything, woman, wine, sex. Whatever was there, he had known everything, so he was bored. But where the desire was not gone, the desire just turned into another direction. Desire is life. If the desire is gone, you are dead. You are a dead log. If the desire disappears, then you cannot even stand up. You cannot do anything. If all his desire was finished, then how he could do that such a great austerity? He, for 6 years, he did such arduous tapasya, which is almost inhuman, which is superhuman, you can say. So if there was no desire, from where the energy was coming? We listen to things and then we have our own conclusion. If he was not desiring women, he must have realized that now there is nothing new in it. He must have indulged to such an extent, to such an extreme level where it became like vomiting. But he had lived such an arduous life, such a intense life, a life so much full of energy, that at the age of 29 he had lived everything which the outside world can offer, the world of senses. So, how can most of the people compare their situation with Buddha? They have not known anything of the outside world. So, either they need to be very alert and awake, that they can conclude that if I have lived with one or two women, I can live with 100. But it will be almost same kind of experience. And some people, their consciousness is more mature compared to, it may have, because of their past journey, this impersonal journey of the consciousness. They may have experienced something in their past lives, but just by reading books, you cannot become that much mature. So one has to live the life in a very alert and awake way. Only then you can desire to know yourself. This is also a desire. But then when you go in, then slowly you realize that if you are desiring so many things on the outside, then you cannot be in the present moment. And when your desiring is running right, when your desiring is going in many directions, when there are so many ripples in your lake, then nothing is reflected well. So, but the desire is there to know yourself. The same desire which was running for outside thing, which was running for women, running for money, for power, Now it has gathered, it has collected. The desires have become one. The desires which were going in many directions, now it is going only in one direction. But before that happens, you need to experience the world with awareness, alertness. You need to be awake. But without desire, you cannot do anything. Without desire, you cannot even create anything. So, being in a state of hopelessness or being depressed, it will not lead you to anything. If you are not desiring power, that only a person who has very alert about things will be free from this desire of power. If you are not desiring too much money, you are not mad after money. That means you have seen that the money it has a limitation. It can give you something. But if you want to be peaceful, if you want to be silent, money cannot play much role. It can play a little bit of role to make the outside situation a little comfortable. That will be of some help in your meditation also. But just by having money cannot go deep into meditation, cannot become conscious by having money. But it can make it can give you a good place to meditate, nice, comfortable place. Buddha may have become desireless when he saw that when you are not desiring anything, then you are in your natural state. Then you are blissful. Then you are bliss itself. Only then you can be conscious. When you are conscious, at the same time you are blissful also. And to be conscious is to be in truth, to be in bliss. That you can call a pure state of desire, where you are not desiring this or that. Where your desire is not corrupted. It's like the flame has become still, but the flame is there. And as you go deeper and deeper, then something else may happen. But first thing first, when you have too many desires, sometimes you feel that life is meaningless. But it may be because your desires are frustrated. You are not you are not successful in your desires. You are not able to fulfill your desires. Then you may experience hopelessness, or you may feel meaninglessness. But that was not the state of the Buddha. He had enjoyed life. He was full of energy. It is not that for 29 years he had lived his life very totally. That's why he reached to a state. He reached to a kind of end of the road. But from there, a new road began. And you have to understand, if there was no desire, then even after he attained enlightenment, he did not stop. The same desire which was involved in indulgence, the same passion which was running for outside thing became compassion. And it is said that he used to travel about 80 kilometers or 80 miles a day. I think I don't know whether it is actually may or may not be exactly 80 miles, but he was traveling a lot. So it's not that anyone who will be enlightened will be like Buddha, but his life was, you can call it, inflamed, very, very intense. What Rosa Luxemburg said, burn the torch of your life from both the ends. But when your desire is not scattered, then you have energy to create. And what he did was the greatest creativity possible, most creative life possible. He did not stop at all. And that is one of his saying, Chare Veti, Chare Veti. That means go on moving, go on moving. And the word he used is stream of consciousness. It is not something static. It is like the flame of the candle, which goes on dying and then being born again. Consciousness is not like some object. It is like the way a river is flowing. Always renewing itself. And that is what he said about the life also. It is a flux. never stagnant. So if you understand Buddha, then you will be always fresh, always new. Because nothing is old under the sky. Everything goes on changing. That's why the languages which have been developed under the influence of Buddha, for in those languages there is no static thing. It is flux. So in many of the languages, there is no, you cannot say the word like tree or river. The words are like treeing, it is rivering. It's not something finished. It goes on, it is a process. So if you live such an intense life, such a total life, then one day this flame of consciousness can attain to such a state where the flame is extinguished. That Buddha called parinirvana. Now you have become one with the universe, so you don't need to be born again in any form. But for that you have to live a very intense life. If you are justifying your laziness into some kind of desire, into desirelessness, this is not desirelessness. The desirelessness of Buddha is a very pure state of desire, where he is not desiring things, this or that. This is being in a pure state of desire, where no particular things are desired. Because desire is life. If desire disappears, your life cannot remain. So even when he was full of compassion, he wanted to share his enlightenment. That was also desire, but desire uncorrupted. And when he says that even after his enlightenment, he said that it is a story, but it is said that he is still waiting on the gate of nirvana. Till everyone is liberated, he will be there. And the word bodhisattva means that this person is not only interested in his own enlightenment. He is not satisfied only with his own enlightenment. He will help everyone to attain enlightenment. Only then he will go. He is not like the Arhat. Okay.
If you like our videos, don't forget to like, share and subscribe.